So, walk me home. There was a problem with one of the buses. I don't know what. And you know what? It really doesn't matter. The driver just was having a rough day, I can tell. I'm not. I don't need details, You're late, that's all that matters. I got home. But one thing the Holy Spirit laid on me, I guess it was early this morning when I woke up, to do a modified Aaronic blessing on the drivers when I get off. And I really like it, and the drivers really seem to like it. Where I hold up my hand like this as I'm getting off, and I said, Lord bless you, keep you. And then I exit. So, and I think that's very important part of my ministry, to let them know that I am literally asking God's protection on them, and for them to see me asking God's protection on them. Because, of course, I pray constantly for these guys. All my recipients, past, present, future, everybody at the store. I was praying over the store before I went in. I was praying over the store as I left. And the way I pray, I hold the one hand up in the air. So I think they had a pretty good idea on the security camera what I was doing. But, you gotta kind of be nuts to work at Walmart anyway. So I'm just another feather on the bird, so to speak. But that board on the fence, I'm remembering that right now. And I'm thinking, we're not going to walk right next to that fence smelling like spoiled house cats. That would be bad. Yeah, that board is still loose. So we're going to walk over here by the coyotes. But yeah, I was very, very happy I'm doing that. And one of my acquaintances, I run into her periodically, sometimes going to work, sometimes coming home, My schedule varies, so I don't have a set date and time like everybody else. I think that's good from a ministry standpoint. That's why I'm not in a hurry to ask about getting full time, because I believe that comes with a standard set of hours, and they like being able to flex me around. And the house is paid off, so I'm okay. But God gives me enough money. I estimated my pay for my next check, and it's going to be enough to cover the bills. So, with some fun money, which is good. But I think I'm going to stay away from Value World until I can take some kind of fashion police with me, because I had some questions last time, like, will this work? Is it too big? Because I don't always know these things. So it would help to have a friend with me. So I might bring a friend from work, or wait until my auntie comes down. But we'll see. But yeah, so work was okay. It really wasn't bad. It was busy though. And they had figured out I'm fairly reliable and I can multitask to some degree. But they were stretching me too thin. At one point, one of them was yelling for me, and I said, well, I'm over here. And they kept yelling for me, and I'm like, what? And she got very upset and offended. But, I'm a human being. I do have limits. And I think she realized that. And, I've never done that ever before. And I'll apologize tomorrow if I feel it's merited. But, she's still sulking or whatever. But, yeah, I am surprised I have this level of energy. It can only be God's hand, because I am running on maybe 5 hours of sleep, and I've been up since like 6 a.m. and it's almost midnight, so that's a lot. But it is fun for me to show that before picture to people when they compliment me on the weight loss, because they're all asking the same question: is that really you? And I have to show a couple different versions of the large photo. I have one of me in a brown t-shirt that really seemed to hit my friend. But good evening. So I went by the rats, ew. But not the people, but the house with the rats. But I don't hear them. The people I was talking to had cats. Maybe they took care of the rats. Kitties. But yeah, so I'm glad I have those photos. I didn't like them when they were taken, but I'm glad I have proof. And people are so genuinely happy for me these days that I'm getting healthy and that I'm happier and I'm working out my issues, with the Lord. I mean, the Lord is helping me work out my issues. The Lord and I are good, I hope. I seek Him constantly. But it makes me realize how toxic my life was before. The people I knew. No, nobody would have been nice about that. And I'm getting one or two people to say, okay, you've lost enough weight. You can stop. Like, they're giving me permission. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm just trying to eat correctly, really. And, to give my body what it needs. I was looking at my macros on Carb Manager when the bus was delayed. And I realized I need to get some protein on board today because I had a pretty good breakfast with 3 fried eggs, a sausage patty, stuff like that. I had a protein shake for dinner, but I'm still running kind of low on protein. So I'll figure that out because I do think protein is important. And it's not always easy on my body when I do a Bible handout because I'm basically dragging around this 100-pound buggy, so that's a lot to ask. But I noticed my ITB on my right leg was a lot better this time, so I guess I'm getting stronger. But I really didn't need any arnica this time, which is a nice change because in the past I was so bad I could hardly sit. I could work, but it was hard. Just sitting down and getting up was hard. But that was good. So, and I'm not doing them back to back either. The nice thing about doing handouts in the winter is it's cooler and I don't have to worry so much about heat exhaustion and hydration and all that stuff. Having problems with my medication, but in summer it's kind of sad and surprising to me how many people driving past me, recipients I'll call them, even though they didn't all take a Bible, had their windows down, and it was literally 100 degrees today. So they can't afford that air conditioner repair bill, and I was not looking behind me. I should have been. Thank you, Lord, for your protection. And it was weird because I was on a couple of very packed buses today and no one was sitting near me. And I really think God makes my protection visible to bad actors. And people are just not comfortable sitting there like that. They'll get up and move even. But yeah, so the oh yeah, I'm almost done. So now when I get home, I'm gonna eat something and crash out. I might have some sardines. Sardines are sounding good, and I can make a mess because I have, I can wash up. But that's not something I would do in the break room. I don't think a smelly fish is respectful in the break room personally. But yeah, I'm okay. One of my friends was having a stomach bug today. She just wasn't feeling well. She was really stressed out. And, I hope she feels better. But I hope she feels better after she calls out tomorrow and she can just rest tomorrow and just, recharge. Because, I charge this phone twice a day. The work app runs my battery down, so I have to plug in my little thing here. And very useful. Small too, I like that. I remember back in the day, all the ham radio batteries we had were huge. Of course, this is like the mid to late 90s, really, I'm thinking of. When we got to Houston, we didn't really use the ham radio anymore. I think I still have half of one of the old Radio Shack HTX models without a battery, somewhere in the garage. But I was very fond of those radios, but they were huge. They looked like a police radio. And the nice thing for me is when I was out with them, people assumed I was law enforcement. And, that's a assumption I am very comfortable with. And I had one guy run out into the street to get away from me. And, the water bill. Let's see. The leak is back, so I'm curious to see what this is. Okay. So, we're just looking at nothing here because I don't want you to see my address. Okay. No, okay, I'm using my teeth for that. Okay, hang on. Alright. I'm just going to demolish this. Okay. And it is 38. Okay, good. And so it's up a few dollars, but not much. Alrighty, I can look at that. And that's nice because it means I don't have a big rush on the repair. And I set up a water bowl in the tub so it'll catch the drips. So if the cats want like a replenishing water source, they have it now. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if they're going to use it. And Happy, the black stray cat, seems to be in now. I've seen him lounging around several times now in the last week. Generally in the middle of the night, the middle of the day. And Spotty's nearby, and Spotty is totally relaxed. So apparently they reached some kind of understanding where I'm guessing Happy agreed to submit Spotty, who's the original cat, his authority. And it's not a bad trade-off for Happy. I haven't even neutered him yet. That's going to be kind of tricky because there are several male Latino neighbors who claim he is their cat. And I asked a male Latino friend of mine about that. And I said, that's going to be a problem if I neuter him, right? He said, oh, absolutely. So, yeah, that's what I thought. And I went home. And I went easy on the hydration coming home, even though it's pretty warm. So I wouldn't have a mad dash for the bathroom. I get tired of that. And yeah, it's weird. You can hear all these industrial banging noises outside, but not in the house, happily. They have several. When we moved in, it was all like grazing for cattle, and we could smell the poop. It was pretty pungent sometimes. And Ron actually called in a complaint with the health department, I think, about that. And they said they would get that fixed. And then the next thing I know, the owner's selling off all the property. Thanks, Ron. And all these industrial things moved in. And we have like a oil rig thing and a crane company, companies like that. And Nothing that I think I need to worry about, like toxic fumes or anything. If there was a problem, hi sweetheart. But oh, and I did something different with my hair. I do this periodically when I'm trying to look more girly. If you feel inclined to comment, I would be interested to get the comments. But yeah, so what it basically is it's in the back. I have the ponytail that pulls the hair back from my face so I can work and whatever. Oh, that's getting all frizzy now. And then it's down, the bottom part is down. I like it like that. It is a little warm, but I think it's prettier because I think I look old with it all scraped back. But like I said, opinions welcome. Male opinions especially, because, you know, I am on the market. So, Mr. Kitty Cat is here. Oh, and I was busy organizing today. It looks a lot better. So what I really need to do is get this middle part cleaned up. But you see I have the 2 chairs here. And then the storage chest. That can be like an end table. And then I have the couch. And then I have the other couch. So I am liking it. And I salvaged this. A neighbor left this at the curb for trash pickup and they didn't take it. Oh, he's all, look at this. Oh, poor starved baby in his empty bowl. Okay, yeah, Happy eats a lot, huh? Well, Happy and God knows what else. Yeah, he does love his Meow Mix. This is Meow Mix Gravy Burst Savory Chicken Flavored Kibble Mix. This is his favorite. I have a rule. I've talked about this. I don't feed male cats anything fish-based because I believe it promotes the urinary blockages. So, and it worked with Biscuit, who did have a urinary blockage once. And it works with Spotty. So I feel very vindicated on that. And I'm going to be smart and charge this bad boy. I always forget to put it on the charger. So yeah, I'm getting organized. I'm liking how the room looks, especially with Cleo. And then I didn't show the buggy parking either. I need to move the cat litter though. But yeah, I have the buggy parking here. This is my everyday buggy, and this is the Bible buggy. And then I have backpacks and stuff over here. This I need to clean up too. But yeah, it's a good start. And God is leading me on all this, what I need to be doing. And it's funny, I changed the litter box and I haven't touched it all day. They probably went outside instead. So anyways, that is it. I am home and I need to start texting my people. Otherwise they're going to freak out. Alrighty.